These are things every Fortnite player hates. Let's start with the removal of mobile, because I don't know anyone who was excited when Apple announced they were removing Fortnite from the App Store. And it sucks, because this is what made Fortnite stop releasing mobile updates for Apple users. Then we all thought we were getting mobile back this year, possibly, but I guess not. But I can say it's a good thing we won't be getting the Infinity Blade back ever again. I hope. Because this was one of the most annoying and overpowered weapons that Fortnite added into the game during Season 7. And to make it worse, this thing literally spawned at the exact same location every game, so whoever got it basically had a free win. And that's not even the only thing players hated about Season 7, because we cannot forget about the planes. I don't even think these things were planes with the way they were designed. They remind me more of the Hydras from GTA with how overpowered they were. Players didn't even use them for rotation, they straight up used them to get easy eliminations, the same way they did with mechs in Season X. The only time you could enjoy a mech was if you were the one controlling it. But other than that, you had no option but to get obliterated, since these things basically they gave you God mode when you were using them. And I've heard rumors that Fortnite's thinking about bringing these back, and if they do, I might just uninstall. And to make things worse, Fortnite straight up had mechs and no turbo building in the same season. Because, out of nowhere, Epic claimed to patch turbo building to help low ping players. But I don't think this helped anyone, and this was so bad that the whole community was really mad, to the point where #revert turbo building was trending on Twitter. And good thing they did revert it, because gosh, imagine fighting Marauders without turbo building. Oh, I couldn't even imagine what I would do. Because these things would literally spawn from the sky and go around pushing everyone in the lobby from the time the game started. And you can say henchmen were bad, but not as bad as Marauders, since these guys wouldn't stop chasing you at all. There's just no way I could forget about stink bombs like that. But speaking of stink bombs, I'm sure everyone is glad that those are not in the game anymore, since it took no skill at all to use them. I'm talking about all you had to do was throw them at a player boxed up, and you basically got a free kill from fart bombs. But that's not so bad compared to one item so hated that even Fortnite wanted it removed. But before we talk about that, I have to mention the overpowered NPCs, because during Chapter 2 Seasons 2, 3, and 4, the NPCs were so overpowered. You barely had the chance of getting mythic weapons at one point in time due to how OP they were. Like, come on, Epic. Do you want Midas to use the mythic drum gun all game, or what? Because nearly no one had a chance of eliminating him, since he had the drum gun that everyone hated. But at the same time, I think we had a good number of players who did enjoy the drum gun, since it won the unvaulting event. And I think Epic shouldn't release any more weapons with drum in the name, because the drum shotgun is almost 10 times worse. I don't know anyone who was a fan of this gun, since it was basically a drum gun mixed with a legendary tack, if you ask me. But good thing it's chilling in the vault now. And I'm still waiting for them to vault or destroy Coral Castle as well, because this is definitely one of the most ignored and hated POIs of Chapter 2. Then we all thought they were going to destroy it during the live event, but it's sitting there still. For what reason? I don't know why. But they could at least replace it with the block, because everyone was so upset when Fortnite removed it from the game. And I'm not gonna lie, it sucks that they didn't really have a choice but to remove it, since some creators started hiding inappropriate stuff on their maps that we don't even need to talk about. But I could go no longer without mentioning the hand cannon. Good thing they eventually nerfed it, since this thing was way too overpowered in the older days. I'm talking about something nearly stronger than a heavy sniper. And it even got so bad to the point where the sweaty players were using double hand cannon. Like, what? Not gonna lie, I did enjoy using it a bit. Unlike the Dragon Breath shotgun, since this weapon would damage you as well. And then what made more players dislike this gun was the fact that they removed the pump to add it into the game. Like, I don't think anyone wanted this trade-off. But that wasn't even the only annoying thing from around that time, since sand tunneling was vaulted for nearly the entire season. Because week after week, Fortnite would add and remove the feature from the game. This made a ton of players mad, since we barely even got the chance to use the feature for a whole 2 weeks. because, to be honest, I definitely needed it to camp and get some free wins, maybe. But at least we got the chance to use it at all, because during Chapter 2 Season 6, no one could use snipers, since Fortnite decided to vault all of them. And they did this since they wanted to introduce the primal bows and stuff. But not many players were happy with this choice, especially trickshotters, since you couldn't hit any cool shots with these bows. But nothing is worse than bad luck fishing spots. I know we all hate trying to get loot while fishing, and the only thing you catch is the same fish over and over again. Or some straight up trash. Like, I already have 10 floppers, give me a scar or something. But it's definitely time for some new fish. Maybe a smoke grenade fish or something, huh? Nah, I'm just joking. That'd be weird. And I already know every player dislikes the smoke grenade, since players would spam these repeatedly when they were in the game. And there was nothing you could do when players spammed them, and what made it worse was players would do this to revive. So, like, come on, bro. But good thing those at least didn't do too much harm compared to the Shadow Ghost. During Fortnitemares 2020, they decided to spawn players as Shadow Ghosts after they got eliminated instead of sending them back to the lobby. Which was a terrible idea because just look at this.
Here you go.
If I help out, guys, can you give me like 10 seconds to run away?
Like, at least add Siphon or something if you're going to add something that broken. But I'm sure everyone that was playing when they added Siphon to pubs was confused and pretty upset when they removed the feature from the game. I know I was, since it was so good. And Fortnite claims they had to remove it since it caused a lot of players to stop playing public matches. Which, I mean, it doesn't seem true to me. But I know everyone expected the lightsabers to be a good addition to the game, right? But turns out it was an addition that everyone hated because it turned Fortnite into a whole Star Wars game for a few weeks. And it was so annoying. I'm talking about 99% of the players were just using lightsabers instead of guns. And they were so overpowered to the point they probably could have blocked the UFO bullets. But the UFO was a hated item as well. It just wasn't as bad as some of the other things on the list, because I bet everyone would have loved them if Fortnite didn't give them infinite ammo. And you could say that the same goes with the jetpacks, since they weren't extremely annoying, but good thing they vaulted them, because when they were in the game, you could be in the middle of a fight and randomly get third-partied by someone who just flew up and pumped you while using a jetpack. Shocking, right? No, not really. But it is shocking that some people hate collaboration skins. And not everyone, because personally, I'm a fan. But you have some creators who are annoyed with them, since Fortnite has been releasing so many of them to the point where it feels like they do more crossover skins than normal ones. But I'm a fan of them, to be honest. I'd love a regular show collab. But a collab skin that players do hate is the Travis Scott skin. No, seriously, the main reason you have a ton of players who hate this skin now is due to the stuff that happened at one of his recent concerts. It's so bad to the point where you have people on Reddit asking if they could refund the items, since they don't want anything to do with Travis Scott anymore. But I'm still confused why Fortnite doesn't have an FOV slider. This would allow players to change their field of view and see way more. But Epic doesn't want to release one since it wouldn't be that fair. Especially to console players, since they probably wouldn't even give it to them. Like, come on, give console something, throw them a bone. Then mainly pros were mad about that, but everyone was upset with the minigun. Since when they first introduced it, the thing was insanely OP. I'm talking so overpowered to the point where they didn't even have to reload it. But good thing they eventually added a cooling down time. That made it a bit better, or at least better to deal with. But I don't think there's anything they can do to make dealing with the LMG better, because we all know this thing is too overpowered, especially since it doesn't have that cooling down time. Players hate this for the same exact reason they hate the minigun. That's because it takes no skill to use. But speaking of skill, was anyone a fan of skill-based matchmaking when they first introduced it? Because I don't know anyone who liked this, since we had to play against World Cup players in public matches with how sweaty the lobbies were. And yeah, we all hated these, but you won't hate this video, so click it now.